Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to your channel. Channel. Today we're going to be looking at the Object 704, the TN9 Russian tank destroyer. It follows on from the ISU 152, which can be found as just here, and it's 3.6 million to purchase. 176,500 experience point needed, but it's a good grind due to the fact that the ISU 152 is a good gun. Well, good machine. So there's two types of guns. You have the standard, which does 700 damage, 135 penetration, which, unless you're insane, you will not have. You'll already have the amazing BL10, which can troll you as much as it control other people. So looking at some basic statistics, 1,600 hit points, which we'll go into later on. 3.51 rate of fire with tank gun rammer. Right, and what you need to do first off is obviously get the mentor skill, and then get 100% on your camo. Why is that, SideScrape? Well, simply, right, if you get camo net on your vehicle, which I've not got at the moment because I've got it on something else, I'm not using it for a little while, I'm trying to grind some of the tanks, and you have this camo skill, and look at the vehicle camo gives you a 4% increase overall for the camo values, right? Listen to these numbers. When you're stationary and you know you're behind a bush, like a dense bush, you got a bush in front of you and you're in a bush kind of thing, so the bush has got to be 15 metres away from you. I'm going to put these on the screen in a minute, just in case you think, this guy can't speak, I can't understand a word he's saying it with these numbers, because they can't be true what he's saying. Camo level stationary, 100%. You're not going to be spotted at all, unless somebody proxy spots you, or somebody sees you from a different direction. Right. Camo on the move, with between you and another hostile, right, say if he's at like 300 metres away, whatever, you'd normally spot somebody, wouldn't you? In this, it's 73%. When there's some bushes between you and the enemy. After you fired, it's 61%. 61% after you fired. That's the camo level on this, and the majority of the time, unless somebody's got extremely good value, say like a Waffenträger E100 with, what do we call it, binoculars, let's find it just over here, you can get up to some obscene ranges of 525, so 450 is your maximum view distance. That means with that extra 75, it'll see vehicles at 450 that are hidden behind bushes, because the bush will stop you seeing through it, obviously. So that value will drop down to 450 if the vehicle's in a heavy bush. I hope that makes sense. If not, let me know and I can re-clarify. All I'm trying to say is literally, this thing is obscene. You take off the... so there's no bushes at all. If you're stationary, you've got a 50% camo level, 50% chance of not being spotted, 23% camo value, camo level while the vehicle's on the move, 11% after it's been fired. So if you're in a bush, you've got a bush in front of you that you cannot see through, that's the thing, you cannot see through that bush, you're not going to get spotted. And if you're a chaffee or something with really good spotting range, you may see through that bush and see this guy. You'd have to have some pretty obscene and be fairly close to be able to spot this guy, unless he makes a mistake, which we're going to go into in a bit. But wow, that is fantastic, isn't it, really, when you think about it? This gun, 750 damage for 286 for standard ammunition AP, 329 for the, if you look on here, APCR, which is Armour Composite rigid. Dispersion of this gun, it's not too bad, is it? 0.39, 2.9 second aim time, and that's pretty decent for 152mm caliber shell. That's a beefy gun, really, isn't it? Look at that thing. So when you're jumping up from the ISU 152, look at the dimensions on it. So you can see already it's slightly lower, and the angling, you know, when you used to get a lot of hits, I used to try to angle it for this way. I'd fire my shot and I'd pull back this angle, because then hopefully it'd either hit the mantlet or it'd hit the side here and deflect. You never do it from that side. Mainly your gunner and the rest of the bits and bats are all there. So you've got this sloping. Get to your objective 704, you have this sloping. So you have these nice curves here for ricochets like that. So obviously try not to put your tank so it's out of this angle, because somebody's going to be able to possibly penetrate if they aim down here, which is quite hard anyway, to be honest with you. If you look at the sloped angle on this thing here, it slopes like that, straight up. Some of the shots, even from the side position, will just ricochet off. It's really quite nice. Look at the angling on this. It's pretty sweet, really, isn't it? Lower plate is tiny, so you know we're going to see it. But we're going to look at these statistics more detailed shortly. So today we're going to be looking at the Object 704 versus the Jag Tiger and the AMX 50 Foch. So let's look at the tiering. All exactly the same tiers, similar pricing structure. It's got 1600 hit points compared to 1800 with the Jag Tiger and 1550 of the Foch. Signal range is the second best at 730 when the Foch is best. Speed limit of 37, so it is quite bad really. Speed limit, they're all very similar, there's no point discussing. It's 50 tons more or less, so you got to be pretty careful about being rammed or anything. It could cause you some damage, but you can reverse out, get out of it. Similar crew levels to the ISU, so if you don't want to keep your ISU, then switch them over, quite easy. Armour, now then, it does say it's 120mm, but you saw that sloping, so it's quite good. We'll look into that in Tank Inspector in a minute. It's 120mm at the front, 90 at the side, 60 at the rear. There's no point looking at these levels here, we'll come back to it afterwards. So engine power, it's the second, it's a runner up really, 700, which is not too bad really. It's 14.38 horsepower per tonne compared to 19.93 of the Foch, which you know can charge round, and a Jag Tiger's a bit of a lumbering one. Now the traverse speed is the worst out of all three. The climb angle is all same. I will leave the resistance of the fire chance. It's not too bad actually. So if you get hit through the lower plating, which I'm going to show you the zones later, because it is because it is diesel, less chance of burning. We're going to look at some hit zones and how to kill this thing after we look at the Tank Inspector. Now I've received some feedback where some people said I give too much information, so I'll give you an opportunity to skip to a certain point in the video if I can find how to do it in annotations later on. So the view range, all the same. Turret traverse, we know it's not much. Now then, this is a pretty traverse arc, 11 degrees, so it's slightly better than the rest of them. So 750 damage compared to 560 and 400. 286mm penetration, that is the best out of all three. The APCR is the second best, 129 compared to 352 of the Jag Tiger and 325 over here. HE is even the best as well penetration wise. Shell pricing, the most expensive for all three really. Let's consider that. Shell speed, the slowest shell as well. You got to think about it, it's the sheer size of it. It's quite a big shell, so it is going to be a lot slower, so you're going to have to lead a lot more from that. Look at that, it's 3.66 meters, that's explosion. So if you need to go for decap, you cannot see the target, you can just literally fire at the floor of the tank that's hidden behind an object. You'll get some splash damage, so that will help with the decap. The worst accuracy, the worst aim time, but still not too bad. It carries 30 rounds, which is the worst again. The rate of fire is 3.51, so it's the worst rate of rounds a minute. 17 seconds for reload, so it does look pretty grim, but it is a pretty solid tank destroyer overall. Okay, the camo values are solid, as you've just seen from before. 100% when stationary, so you can't really beat that kind of level, can you, when you're looking at it. So damage per minute for AP is 2,632 compared to 2,945 or 2,580. So it's the second best for DPM per minute. Same with the APCR as well. It doesn't really improve at all, and the high explosive again is the second best. There's nothing really for the damage, but you just think it's a low profile, it's a pretty solid tank. You'll see in a minute why the armor's pretty good as well. So let's jump across to the armor. So then the Object 704, I think she looks quite sweet there. Let's look at the values. So you find to the front Leon, you go for the lower plating, it's so small, it's going to be so hard to try to get penetration on this. You go for the upper plate, let's say 180 from the top, so you're making sure, it does seem it's like it's quite bad to penetrate, but quite easy to penetrate, it's not. Because if you rock this backwards and forwards, or you angle this at this angle, it's going to increase it more. It's to be able to spot this as well. It's going to be, you got to be right in its face before you can actually cause damage to it. So it's quite a large stretch. You can see these parts here. I've actually shot at these bits before. This part down here, and if you look at it on the here, there is no hitbox. So that's just literally spaced armour. So it's like a slice of spaced armour all the way down the side. So all this skirting that you can see here that looks quite pretty is spaced armour. So if you ever shot at this and you've wondered, well, chuffing heck, why has that not gone through? I've just shot across here, what the heck? It's because it's really nice and solid spaced armour. If you're looking at that, it's 30mm plus 90 behind it, so it's quite good. You go for shots, say, if you angle your arm like this, the guy's going for a shot, it's going to be 191, and that's going to be 140, so make sure you're frontally on, or just turn it just slightly, and you'll look at more bounce in the shots than you would normally. And then you're looking at this section here for the gun itself, 196, 125, and 272, so that's quite a lot of spaced armour. You can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4 layers before you get to the actual armour itself, so you're probably not going to be able to penetrate the mantle unless you're extremely lucky. Looking from the artillery position as normal, it's quite a small profile though, it's virtually nothing. Go for an arse shot, it's 83, so it will take a little bit to get through with high explosives, but you're not probably going to get behind it before you've already killed it, to be honest with you. Coming from side on, if you aim too low, because you can see the hull there, if you aim too low it's just going to go nowhere. Hey, make sure you aim for the top part, because you can see from here, halfway is nothing. 180 at the side, goes up to 90, then goes up to 160. So that skirting is quite nice, it provides a good level of armour from the side itself. So make sure that you're aiming, you try to go for lower plate. If you're in it, you try to angle it a touch, you're rocking backwards and forwards. Just make sure you time it well, because obviously if you're rocking it backwards and forwards, you push forward, it's going to make the tank go a bit forward. You're pulling back, it's going to make the tank tilt backwards, as you would do in a normal car. The car would jerk and go forwards and backwards. Anyway, let's look at some hit zones, how you can kill this quickly. Right then guys, I'm going to try something slightly new, something I've not talked about before. You can do it as quick as possible. Videos can be slightly longer, but it is beneficial to yourself. So, you're going to shoot this vehicle. If you hit this area here, anywhere where it's red, that's going to damage the engine, the fuel and the transmission. Obviously the fuel canisters can cause fires. You go for the green areas, they are vulnerable spots, as in you can detrack it. You go for the orange, you'll get the commander. Well, this one here is a loader, you can see the loading pictures. So that will get the loader. Let's look at the next picture. You go for sorry about the pictures, the frontal shot here. You'll be getting knocking the driver out. There again, if you shoot for that area there, you'll be knocking out the track straight away. Looking at the back, all this is vulnerable areas. There's no easy way to ammo rack this, to be honest with you. You've gone for the engine, you've gone for the fuel, and then from the other side, you've got knock out the loader. The driver's obviously over there. You knock out this area here, you can knock out the engine, you're going to knock out the fuel. So there's quite a lot of different areas that you can just cause some extra damage. You're going for a side shot, you go for the rear end here, you're going to knock out the engine and cause problems. They repair it or they don't. It's going to have reduced power, so it's going to go down to about 15 kilometers an hour. You knock out, hit these areas, you're going to damage the gunner there, you see it? The commander here, the loader there. So you shoot at this point, when you're looking at the front of the tank, you're going to knock out the gunner, you're going to knock out the commander, you're going to knock out the loader. So fire a high explosive or to penetrate these areas is going to cause a lot of problems. Okay, now let's look at some gameplay. So we're on cliff today, 56% win chance. We've only done 19 games in this tank overall. We've got 3 tier 10s on their team, 4 in our team. Spartan a tier 9, Spartan a tier 8. So it's going to be pretty good game, some good damage. Look at the top right hand side, you'll see that I need 2044 damage to maintain my win rate rating. Respectable win rate rating. So start at the top of the map, 14.76 second reload on this little TD. Nice speed. Quite a nice little low down profile. It's a lot more power, it feels like a lot more power, a lot more graceful than the ISU 152. That felt like it was a first kind of built tank compared to this. This just feels like the finished product. I haven't got the tier 10 variant of this yet, but I'm quite looking forward to it. But I do enjoy this tank, to be honest with you. I have got some really good statistics for this tank. So, starting in the 1-2 zone, let's try to see if we can control and get some early shots in. I do dislike this map because TDs go here, the heavies go to 9, the mediums go to 5, 6, the lights go to 7, blah, blah, blah. Do you know what I mean? It gets a bit tiresome after a while. Both teams got some good players. We have a Jag Panzer E100 against us, a couple of ISU 152s in our team, and one on their team. One of the nice little AC-48s, the one before the AMX 50 Foch. There's a T-57 to our left. I'm just asking him to go top. You know, just sat over there. He's not a very good player. Oh, sorry, that is really bad. I'm not that kind of person. He doesn't have very good statistics, so he may not know how to use that tank. You can see here he's got no games listed. I'm not one of them penises who just slags people off who don't know. So there's then 103. Doctor shot again, don't forget. Penetration of... Gosh, what's going on? Okay, click on it. Stop! Flipping stupid thing. It's 286mm penetration and 329. I just have them in case I'm coming up against them now, so you know, something with fairly hefty requirements. T-44, do I get shot in? No! I hit the massive rock in front of him. What do I do first? 40.76 reload time. Shot in, 788 for his first hit. T-44s has been rather hit. Side solid, just seen that 262A go down to engage T-44. So I'm going to move up and see if I can help out. It's not something I'd normally do, to be honest with you, because of the sheer fact that there's so many TDs down here. I'm not in much cover, but I've got 50% camo value at the moment. 12 now, just going to fire. I just went and bounced a shot off him, rather than drag it off Panzer 4. Not sure where that shot went, but I believe it would have gone to the left hand side, because you saw me just break right. Object 430 has just been nailed. Got 2 shots in, 1557 damage done so far from 2 shots. It's not too bad, this guy's just been a really silly sausage. Kills for me, 1940 damage. No damage received. Don't know why I gave his position up just then, it was a bit unusual really. I got a choice of moving right or left, so where would you go in this position? I'm going to do some, I'm trying to not be the same kind of guy that I used to be, just doing the same old, but something different, so I decided to go into the middle. I can remember this game a couple of days ago. So we're going to go up this nice hill. I do like this map change now, it's got this opening here, so it means there's more positions to play in. Ferdy's asking for help, and I just say out, I'm the only way over, dude. Mainly because I just want to kill his C-75. Chap doesn't know I'm here. I'm out of my normal TD or the TD positioning. This is just a fairly average game, it's nothing spectacular. And I completely missed that shot. Look, Well, showing that arm was like 160 to 180 to the shot. He didn't even aim for long, did he? He just turned and just snapshot straight through. So what he reloaded, so that's not too bad. That time he bounced. I was talking about before, the gun mantlet with the multiple layers. That's where he went and hit. Well, it did penetrate the first layer, but didn't get through the rest of them. Need an extra 104 damage to achieve my expected level of damage. Third in a BKA to my left. E75 doesn't seem to be coming out for a bite, so I have to get 2 seconds. Well, it wasn't even 2 seconds, but a second aim. The gun was pretty accurate. Sometimes you can be trolled by this gun, but this time I was not. It was good. Backed up so I could be in a position to fire on this other guy. Now I'm just backing a bit more to get a shot in. Poor chap, must have known I was there. I did not aim enough, but for once it paid off. Now I can remember this. I was just trying to think of what would the E75, what will he be doing right now? He's not been spotted in a while. What would I do if I was at E75? I'd be pushing down on this on me, the 704. So I decided just to move around and go somewhere else. Plus we've got some choice targets over here with the ISU and the Japan's at 100. Now look at that. Notice that the E75 is going to my last known location. So I decide I'm not going to fire on those guys to the right. If I do that, I'm going to give my position away, more than likely. So instead, I'm going to go hunting. Got a little hunting rat, pesky wabbit. Elmer Flood would say. Very, very poor interpretation. So, I'm bombing around. The RHM, that David guy, obviously mustn't have noticed because he's just sat there. He's going to get smoked really, isn't he? Lost, dead. You must have looked at the map. This is key. Situational awareness. Make sure you know what's just going on. Clutch shot into him, set him on fire. I'll do a review of D75 later, and just like that hitbox, the shot went for the very back end, at the top right hand corner where the engine and the fuel compartment is in D75, which set the tank on fire with the first shot. Again, I've been quite blessed and lucky because I didn't really have to aim them shots. So we're up to 3,708 of a standard game here. It's not like it's a massive game. Up to 2,965 tonight. Now this Japan Z100, he's a good player, but he seems to be a bit of a camping sausage. He's sat at the very back. I'm going to go for a shot on him. He's just missed. He did not aim at all at me just then. I'm just thinking, will I reload or will he reload first? He's moving. Will I get a shot? Will I get a shot? Nope. I've got no chance. Artie just did a good hit on him. Still went for a shot on the tiny controller, top right, didn't get it. No chance of even going. And now in a second you'll see I'll be talking to the Artie just to find out, to make sure that he is supporting me, because when I go around this corner I'm going to get hit pretty hard. If he rolls high, he can kill me. I've tried to do a couple of live replays when I've been I took a hit, a snapshot. That was such a lucky strike for me then. He took a shot at me. I don't know where that shot went. He missed. Oh, it hit me tracks. Wow. Okay, hit me tracks. I did a clutch shot. Instead of taking my time, I should have taken my time. He had already fired. I was an idiot for not flipping aiming or allowing time. So 4,732 base win rate so far. There'll be additional stats as you'll see in a minute for the spotting, bouncing of armour, etc. Extra frag kills and the rest of it. Anyway, it's 5 kills. Let's look at the end of game statistics. Victory! So we've got the first mastery badge, 54,729 credits, 8,755 experience, because it was a ×5, I think it was a Gamescom weekend, and 5,075 damage. So we the objects 261 did well. 2,537 for the tier 9 Waffenträger. Enemy team did 3,569 with that E75 that chased me, and I managed to get on the back and kill him. Got higher caliber. So 27,980 earns, 490 blocked by armour. Managed to get a track on somebody, so 485 damage. So overall, not such a bad game. Thoroughly enjoyable, thoroughly standard. It's not like it was a massive game. You saw from the gameplay, I didn't do anything exceptionally well. I just played it correctly, and I was in the right position at the right time. And I played a bit outside my normal comfort zone, which you should do so every so often. Let's look at the next replay. So the next map is Westfield. I must admit, I really don't like this map. I hate it for every level apart from if you're in like a medium tank. Even then, I still hate it. This map is just crap. It's just so boring. There's no choice. You go here, you go here, you go down here, and that's it. I don't know. What do you guys reckon? I think it's just shit. Wargaming, need to pull the things out of the arses. Sorry about my swearing. I try not to do it normally, but it's just boring. They've not even tried to make a good map that's like a good fun map. Where on earth, or why on earth would you find a map like this in real life, you know? Oh yeah, whatever. I decide to start pushing up to my normal zone. The bush is to the top right hand corner, as you can see just up there. But then I noticed that everybody else is going up there, so again I'm going to try to move outside my normal comfort zone and move somewhere a bit different. Normally where I'd go in the heavy. I'll be at 704, look at that. I just noticed him. I remember seeing him afterwards. I was thinking, oh, he's gonna kick my ass. Does he fire? Does he fire? Not at me. He's gone for the Waffenträger E100. And then I go for a shot on him. Don't know why. It's a bit silly. Silly boy, Tim. Silly boy. Where you going, man? Both teams fairly decent. I've got Death Star. They've got more heavies, more mediums. So I decide I'm going to see if I can capitalise on that and go over here. See what kills we can get in. Again, 2,044 damage you need. Got 1T71 left side. Fairly inexperienced player. I'm asking the guy to go over there and I'll cover him. Don't forget, if you knock over a tree, apart from it shows the arty where it is, you can actually utilise that tree. It now classes as a bush once fallen over. I said he said he wanted to move up, but that was before, and now he's kind of left a little bit too late. Bit of a danger. So I decided to, instead of going for 120, take out their eyes, which is more important. Without the eyes, they can't see very far. The 380 ranges. That 120 is just going to hurt himself. I've already got 1786 damage now. Second shot was 790, so the 1576 damage on him. Not too bad. What sort of damage he would have done then, because it probably went through the top of the gun, didn't it? And he just managed to move out. Typical norm is that. See a tree fall over just then. Their scout's dead. Our scout's dead. Our Death Star's dead. Our Tortoise is dead. Like, we've killed 5 of them, they've killed 4 of us. It's anyone's game, really. Well, I'm going to push back in because we don't have any eyes over there. Persian is an experienced player, ready, so he's not in a very good position to spot. I'll try to get some shots into that 5100. If I hit him with 780 damage, it's going to nerf him quite a lot. PTA right from. Come on, can you get a shot? Can you get a shot? No. Oh. In the face! Now there's that AMX 48, AC 48 to my left, it's just appeared. Wait for the reload. Waiting for me spot to disappear from when I fired. If I would have pulled that straight away I would have been hit obviously, so be careful. I'm using this nice speed. It's quite low roll, man. 650! Some poo in the face, isn't it? Now, look at this here. It's about loudness of the spacebar. The guy's shooting over there. He's going to have to shoot through, what, 2 walls to get to me? Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? So if he's going to shoot at me, he's got literally 3 walls to shoot through to get to me, which will reduce his overall penetration. Quite low down. So he fired his... No, he fired golden, didn't he? And it bounced. Straight off my gun mantlet, see just there on top. Now I'm just trying to see if we can get the spots and shots in. It's 2,998 damage, 1566 win rate, so it's quite easy to get these statistics. You get 3 shots, so you got to do 3 solid penetrations, as in full damage rolls, and you can cause some severe problems for these guys. And that's, sorry, not cause some severe problems for them. You achieve your win rate requirements to get decent statistics if you are wanting, just from 3 shots. I don't think I've ever not done it. Unless I've been arted at the start, but I can't really remember when. First kill. 3,500 damage. 2254 win rate. E50's M's just bugging out. Leaving the Foch, which is nice. Good team, mate. I would rather stuck with the Foch and just done as much damage rather than bog off my own for no reason. But oh well. I think that's one of my problems. I don't retreat enough, you know. I don't GTFO quick enough. I've not taken any damage. I've only had 1 bounce on from the Leopard PTA. I could rush down. I don't see the point. There's all them guys are going to come Leroying down. I might as well just sit here and hopefully get a nice patient shot in and get some more win rate. Where would it be? Where for either? Let's see how Can I get the shot? Can I get the shot? Boom! Thank you very much. Nom 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 nom. Just need to spot this last guy. Some extra pinata points. Come on! 2,052 damage above expected level. 4,097 damage. Must be over there somewhere. Come on, where are you? Oh, there he is. Totally not where I thought he was. Boom! Headshot! And game over. So 4,070 base win rate. 4,708. Again, you can see I didn't do anything exceptional. It's just a standard game that you can get with this tank. Sometimes you may only get 1 shot in. Depends if you're out of position. But both games I went to the middle. Like this game as well, I've gone to the middle, so I'd have targets to the left of me, to the front of me, or to the right of me, and it worked out again. Let's look at the end of game statistics. Now, I do hope the video is not too long for you guys. Let me know. There is quite a lot of information to get in there to give you a solid, thorough review of the weaknesses, how to penetrate, how to stay alive, comparison to other tanks. It's an encompassing review, so let me know if you found it okay or the content was too long. 48,000 credits, 1,700 experience, damage 4,708 with 3 kills, highest in the team again, which for this tank it normally is. E100, good game for him, 3,993. Next chap, the arty was fantastic. Look at that. Well done to you, mate, to MH, Miskake, and Gmall in the Jackpanzer E100. Some really good damage for us 3, 12,000 between the 3 of us. Wow, that's not too bad whatsoever. So 473, damage due to my assistance, so that's why it equaled 5,508. 390 blocks, blah, 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 blah. So 37,000 credits earned overall. So is this tank worth getting and grinding for? Yeah, it's so much fun. It's such an enjoyable TD to play. The camo values are phenomenal. The gun's good and punchy. 14-second reload, so it's good. You're small, low profile, quite nice sloped armour. You wiggle, you may bounce off some shots, but not the most of the time. But the camo value alone will keep you alive most times. Anyway, guys, appreciate any likes. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe and welcome home to your channel. Spam that like button and give me some comments on what you think so far. And just that's it really. Take care and please stay safe, and I'll see you out there. See you later, guys.